The copyright of Mickey Mouse, a character that revolutionized the world of animation, expires in 2023. Since his debut in 1928, Mickey Mouse has held a special place in our hearts. However, behind him are various legal and cultural aspects, including changes in copyright law, the transition to the public domain, and cultural influence. Hi, I'm Luminova. In this video, we will explore how the character of Mickey Mouse has built his status today, and the impact he will have after his copyright expires. Let's embark on this magical journey with Mickey Mouse. The birth and early steps of Mickey Mouse. In 1927, Walt Disney was commissioned by Charles Mintz of Universal Pictures to create Oswald the Lucky Rabbit. The project was successful, but Disney's request for a higher production budget was denied, leading to the loss of Oswald's rights. This prompted the creation of Mickey Mouse. Mickey Mouse's debut work was Plain Crazy, in 1928, a parody of Charles Lindbergh's Felix's Nonstop Flight. The following, Galloping Gaucho, was also a silent film, but neither found a distribution route and were not initially successful. Mickey Mouse caught the public's attention with the talkie film, Steamboat Willie, released on November 18, 1928. In this film, Mickey appeared as a star of talkies, with Walt Disney himself providing the voice. Following the success of Steamboat Willie, Mickey Mouse became a popular character and was featured in a series of films. The early Mickey Mouse had a design with large black pupils, but this changed after 1939's The Pointer. The design added whites to his eyes, made the pupils smaller, and included eyebrows to enrich his expressions. Learning from the loss of Oswald's rights, Disney took a strict stance on intellectual property rights and infringement. Mickey Mouse's copyright, in particular, has been strictly managed. Mickey Mouse and the evolution of copyright law. The first copyright law in the United States was enacted in 1790, offering 14 years of protection, extendable by another 14 years if the author was still alive. The scope of copyright was limited to maps, charts, and books, and registration was required. In 1831, the protection period was extended to 28 years, with an additional 14-year renewal, allowing for a maximum of 42 years. The 1909 amendment extended this to a maximum of 56 years. Mickey Mouse, first appearing in 1928, significantly influenced the extension of copyright protection. In 1984, as Mickey Mouse's copyright was nearing expiration, Disney's lobbying led to a revision of the copyright duration. In 1976, the U.S. Congress significantly revised the copyright protection system, adopting a period of 50 years after the author's death. This extended the maximum protection period for published works to 75 years, protecting Mickey Mouse's copyright until 2003. As the 2003 public domain date approached, Congress enacted the Copyright Term Extension Act in 1998, also known as the Mickey Mouse Protection Act. This law extended copyright protection to 70 years after the author's death, or 95 years after publication, 120 years after creation, for corporate authors. As a result, Mickey Mouse was protected until 2023. Steamboat Willie and copyright history. Steamboat Willie, released in 1928, was Mickey Mouse's first appearance. In the United States, it was copyright registered with a copyright mark. The 1998 Copyright Term Extension Act extended the protection to 95 years after publication, making it last until December 31, 2023. Disney's lobbying for copyright extension influenced changes in copyright law, leading to the 1998 Act that extended the maximum protection period to 95 years, earning the nickname Mickey Mouse Protection Act. From January 2024, Steamboat Willie enters the public domain. This means the work in the Mickey Mouse character as he appeared in it, Mickey Mouse 1.0 inches, can be freely replicated, shared, and modified. However, this is limited to his appearance in Steamboat Willie, and subsequent versions of Mickey Mouse and trademarks must be used in a non-infringing manner. Mickey Mouse has undergone many design changes since his debut. These changes mean that versions after Steamboat Willie might be separately protected. Distinctive designs, like the wizard in Fantasia, are likely protected, but minor changes may be considered just variations. The name Mickey Mouse is trademarked by Disney. Even after copyright expiration, trademark restrictions remain. Trademark law prohibits use that confuses consumers, but Mickey Mouse can be used if it's clearly stated as not a Disney product. Disney strictly protects its characters and works while drawing inspiration from the public domain. The entry of Mickey Mouse into the public domain in 2024 marks a new era for Disney. The expiration of Mickey Mouse's copyright and its impact. From January 1, 2024, the original versions of Mickey and Minnie Mouse enter the public domain. This change is limited to Mickey Mouse, as he appeared in short films like Steamboat Willie and Plain Crazy, released in 1928. The modern, color-gloved Mickey Mouse remains under copyright, so careful use is necessary. Creators can freely use the original versions of Mickey and Minnie Mouse for new projects. This opens up possibilities for new films, books, and various creative uses. A significant event for creators previously restricted by Disney's copyright infringement lawsuits. Steamboat Willie, and other important works like D.H. Lawrence's Lady Chatterley's Lover, Virginia Woolf's Orlando, and Agatha Christie's The Mystery of the Blue Train will also enter the public domain in 2024. In recent years, works like the original, Winnie the Pooh, The Great Gatsby, Metropolis, and Alfred Hitchcock's The Lodger, have also entered the public domain. Transition to public domain: the expiration of copyright and its implications. The public domain refers to a state where intellectual property rights, such as copyrights and patents for creative works and inventions, are either non-existent or have expired. Since there is no one to exercise these rights, there can be no injunctions against use or claims for damages. As a result, creative works can be freely utilized by anyone, though this does not apply if it involves infringement of ownership or personality rights. Copyright law typically protects a work for 70 years after the author's death. Once this period has passed, the work enters the public domain. For example, if an author died in 1970, their work becomes public domain after 70 years. Starting from January 1, 1971, making it available for use after January 1, 2041. An author can relinquish their copyright, and in that case, the work immediately becomes public domain. However, it's important to verify whether rights have been relinquished, since a work can still hold copyright even if the author doesn't claim it. Also, if no one inherits the rights after the author's death, the copyright expires, and the work enters the public domain. New works created using public domain materials, or derivative works, generate their own copyright, protected for 70 years after the creator's death. It should be noted that even if a work is in the public domain, the author's moral rights, which protect their personal interests, do not expire. Thus, derogatory alterations that could be considered an infringement on these rights are still subject to legal action. Some countries extend the protection period to account for wartime, adding the actual number of days of a war to the usual duration. Creative possibilities with public domain works. Public domain works, no longer under copyright protection, offer more freedom for new creative endeavors. For instance, Christopher Totten, an assistant professor at Kent State University, suggests using public domain works for indie game development. Under U.S. copyright law, works published before 1926 are those from 1927 to 1963. Without renewal fall into the public domain, allowing their use in new creative projects. Public domain works can serve as sources for game development and other creative activities. For example, games can be based on classics like Cervantes, Don Quixote. And public domain paintings and music can also be utilized as materials. When using public domain works, attention must be paid to other rights, such as trademarks. Even if a character is in the public domain, the use of trademarked titles or names as is not permitted. One benefit of using public domain works is the ability to create pieces that inherit cultural relationships. However, individual performances and recordings are subject to copyright, so caution is needed when using them. When using public domain works with numerous derivative works, care must be taken not to infringe on the rights of these derivatives. For instance, when using the public domain, The Wizard of Oz, elements from Disney or Warner Brothers movies should be avoided. Impact of Mickey Mouse's copyright expiration on culture and industry. On January 1, 2024, the original versions of Mickey Mouse and Minnie Mouse in Steamboat Willie will enter the public domain. This will allow comic artists, filmmakers, and authors to freely use these popular characters, marking a significant event for creators previously limited by Disney's copyright infringement lawsuits. The public domain status will enable creators to freely produce new projects using these characters. For example, after the public domain status of Winnie the Pooh, Mint Mobile created a commercial using the character, demonstrating how expired copyright characters can be utilized in new ways. copyright arises from specific expressions, not from the character itself. Therefore, even if the copyright for Mickey Mouse in Steamboat Willie expires, subsequent designs of Mickey Mouse will still be copyrighted. Using Mickey Mouse from works other than Steamboat Willie could potentially infringe on copyright. After the copyright of Mickey Mouse in Steamboat Willie expires, it will be possible to use the character for film screenings, DVD distributions, and distribution of self-drawn Mickey Mouse images. However, the extent of permitted replication and distribution will ultimately be determined by the courts. Edgy expressions may lead to lawsuits from Disney. It was truly enjoyable to explore the deep history of Mickey Mouse, a symbolic character. He is not just an animated character but represents copyright law, a cultural icon, and memories etched in countless people's hearts. Mickey Mouse will continue to add new colors to our lives as a creative possibility in the public domain. If you liked this video, please hit like, comment, and share. If you have ideas or questions for future videos, let me know in the comments. See you in the next video. Goodbye. This was Luminova.